You're sitting alone. The room is quiet. And then you feel it, that strange, uncomfortable sensation on the back of your neck. Someone is watching you. You turn around, and there they are, staring right at you. How did you know? Was it instinct? Luck? Or is your brain doing something that science is only now beginning to understand? This feeling isn't random. It's not superstition. It's a survival system wired into your brain for millions of years. And the truth behind it is far more disturbing than you think. This is Mind Veil, where we pull back the curtain on the hidden forces controlling your mind. Your brain has a dedicated system just for detecting eyes. Scientists call it the gaze detection system. It sits in a region of your brain called the superior temporal sulcus. This area is so specialized that it can detect whether someone is looking directly at you, even if you can't consciously see them. Think about that. Your brain knows someone is staring at you before you do. In 2013, researchers at the University of Sydney ran an experiment. They showed participants a crowd of faces on a screen. Some faces were looking away, but one face was staring directly at the viewer. The participants found that staring face in under 200 milliseconds. That's faster than a blink, faster than conscious thought. Your brain doesn't wait for permission to react. It sounds the alarm immediately. But why? Why would your brain evolve an entire system just to detect a stare? The answer takes us back hundreds of thousands of years. Imagine you're an early human walking through tall grass on the African savanna. The sun is setting, the wind is quiet, and somewhere in the shadows, a predator is crouching, watching you, waiting. Now imagine two versions of you. One version feels nothing, keeps walking, becomes prey. The other version feels a chill run down the back of their neck. Their heart rate jumps. They freeze. They scan the environment. They survive. Over hundreds of thousands of years, natural selection chose the second version. The humans who could detect a predator's gaze lived long enough to reproduce. The ones who couldn't, didn't. That's why this system exists inside your brain right now. It's not a feature. It's a requirement for survival. When someone stares at you, your brain activates the amygdala. That's your internal threat alarm. It floods your body with adrenaline. Your pupils dilate. Your muscles tense. All of this happens before your conscious mind even registers what's going on. You don't choose to feel watched. Your ancient brain chooses for you. But here's where it gets truly unsettling. In 2005, a study was published in the journal Current Biology. Researchers were working with a patient who was clinically blind. Her visual cortex was completely destroyed. She could not see anything. Not light, not shapes, not movement, nothing. And yet, when researchers stared directly at her face, she reported feeling uncomfortable. She could sense it. When they looked away, the feeling disappeared. When they looked back, it returned. Her eyes were sending information through a second pathway, a shortcut. Instead of going through the visual cortex, this pathway runs directly to the amygdala. It's sometimes called the subcortical route, and it processes one thing above all else: threat. This means your brain has a hidden surveillance system operating completely outside your awareness. You don't need to see someone watching you. Your brain detects it anyway, through a channel you didn't even know existed. Now let's talk about what happens when this system breaks. If you've ever had social anxiety, you know what an overactive gaze detection system feels like. You walk into a room and immediately feel like every person is looking at you. You sit on a bus and feel eyes boring into the side of your head. The threat isn't real, but your brain doesn't care. It fires the alarm anyway. For people with severe social anxiety, this system is stuck in overdrive. Every glance feels like a predator locking onto prey. The mechanism that once saved our ancestors is now creating a prison of constant surveillance. A prison that exists only inside their own heads. On the opposite end, some individuals with autism have a significantly reduced response to direct gaze. Their gaze detection system is quieter. They may not instinctively notice when someone is looking at them. This can affect social bonding, communication, and reading unspoken signals. The same system, two extremes. One makes you feel watched everywhere. The other makes you miss the eyes entirely. There's one more thing that makes this even stranger. Your brain responds differently depending on whether someone looks at you with a neutral face or an angry one. An angry stare triggers a faster and stronger amygdala response. Your brain doesn't just detect eyes, it reads intent. In milliseconds before you've had a single conscious thought, your brain has already decided if the person watching you is a threat. You are walking around every day with a biological surveillance detector running in the background. Built by evolution, sharpened by millions of years of predator and prey. It operates without your knowledge or consent. So the next time you're in a dark room and you feel that prickle on the back of your neck, don't ignore it. That feeling is older than language, older than civilization. Your brain has been perfecting that alarm since before your ancestors had names. Trust it. But there's something even more fascinating that most people don't know. Your gaze detection system doesn't just work with real eyes. It works with anything that looks like eyes. Two dots on a wall. A pair of headlights in the dark. A face in the clouds. Your brain is so obsessed with finding eyes that it sees them everywhere. This is called pareidolia, and it's directly connected to your gaze detection system. Researchers at the University of Toronto found that the same brain regions that detect real human eyes also activate when you see fake ones. Your brain would rather be wrong 1,000 times than miss one real threat. That's why you see faces in power outlets, in the front of cars, in tree bark. Your survival system is always running, always scanning, always looking for something looking back at you. And here's the final twist. This system never turns off, not even when you sleep. Studies have shown that sleeping people still respond to the sensation of being watched. Their heart rate changes, their body shifts position, their brain waves spike. Even in your most vulnerable state, your ancient alarm system is standing guard. You are never truly unwatched, because your brain never stops watching for watchers. If this made you question what else your brain is hiding, subscribe to Mind Veil and turn on notifications. Because in the next video, things get even stranger. Imagine you're watching a video. Two people are passing a basketball back and forth. You're counting the passes. You're focused. You're paying attention. And then someone tells you a gorilla walked right through the middle of the screen. You rewind. You watch again. And there it is. A person in a gorilla suit, walking slowly across the frame, beating their chest. You didn't see it. Your eyes were open. The gorilla was right there. And your brain deleted it. It's called inattentional blindness. And it proves that what you think you see and what's actually in front of you are two completely different things. That's next time on Mind Veil. Don't miss it.